Hello friends. Today we're going to see about the haunted bungalow which is located in Johor as known as Villa Nabila. Many of us will give anything to have their own dream villa that overlooks the sea. One such villa offers exactly that, and that would be none other than the infamous Villa Nabila in Johor, Malaysia. Villa Nabila is located on a hill in Johor, Malaysia, overlooking the Danga Bay. However, this villa history is a mystery and no one knows what exactly happened here and who had built it or had owned it. All the mysteries and questions surrounding the villa gives it a natural air of mystics that perplex even the historian today. It was also documented that Villa Nabila was first known as Christine Palace, but who owned this mansion and what happened to him remains unknown. It was even rumors that a wealthy Caucasian family once lived there. Perhaps what deepens all the awe and the mystic around this massive building will be the nature of its structure itself. The villa is a unique blend of architectural style and grandeur. You can almost imagine how grand and luxury it once had been. The front of the villa is dominated by the portico, held aloft by Roman Tuscan pillars that have been heavily bleached by coastal winds. The mansion stands on stilts. That is very commonly so for houses built during its time. Looking at the houses in its entirety, its grand structure stood in a manner reminiscent of traditional rumah panggung. It stands run down, deplicated, derelict and covered with overgrown grasses and mold with the decades of neglect and abandonment for more than 40 years now. To the rear of the villa, it is built with comprising tropical wooden slats showing off a high-pitched roof of European influence, which remains largely intact. You can still see this through the dense foliage as far as 3 miles out of Johor Bahru along the Iskandar Coastal Highway. This place gives a very eerie atmosphere, especially so at dusk and during the night. There is no street lamp anywhere close by, so it sits alone, soul in the darkness as dark falls. Villa Nabila's reputation as a haunted location has since listed in Expedia and US travel portal as one of the scariest locations in Malaysia. There are several versions of the story that attempt to explain the history of Villa Nabila and the reason behind its current state of neglect, abandonment, and dilapidated conditions. Obviously, there are also stories that gives the villa its reputation of being haunted house. Some says that a jealous maid took the lives of a wealthy family that once lived in a villa in order to inherit their heirloom. Their bodies were buried somewhere in the compound, but they were never been found. Among these stories, the most commonly circulated story is that the villa was originally owned by a wealthy family The family had named the villa after their and only daughter named Nabila. Nabila's parents passed away tragically and they left all their belongings and wealth to Nabila. Their only mate wanted all the fortune and driven by greed, murdered Nabila and had her body cemented into the walls of the villa. Another version has the maid killed the whole family including Nabila and have all the bodies buried in the land of the villa stands on. One of the most recent famous and mysterious incident took place at Villa Nabila in November 2013. Although the incident only lasted 3 days, but the short period had left many residents, including the authorities, baffled and shocked. Among the nasty beliefs about Villa Nabila is that the visitors entering the house must be in numbers and of good health. If the numbers of visitors is odd, then there will be the spirits or entities that may attach themselves as visitors leave the villa. Late at night, on the fateful night of November 16, 2013, in a group of 23 teenagers decided to be daring and enter the villa. Unexpectedly, their actions into the scary location turned out to be an adventure that shocked the country. Shortly after the group of teenagers entered to the villa, the social media began spreading the story of the 23 alleged teenagers mysteriously missing at Villa Nabila. The spread of social media news has left many confused and curious about what actually happened to them. Are they lost to another world or are they lost into the villainous response to the mystical villains who inhabit Villa Nabila? The story goes that on that fateful night, the group of 23 youth met up to explore the villa. As they entered the villa and began to explore the mansion, they could felt cold and very eerie. The place was in total darkness, which made it very difficult to see. So each of them took out their mobile and began to use their torchlight and their mobile to illuminate their surroundings. As they entered the second floor, one of the teenagers suddenly saw children running in front of her. At the same time, another in group suddenly screamed and collapsed on the floor and became hysterical. It was at this point where the group decided that they need to leave. Immediately, for the fear of their own safety, they took the girl to the Mosque and were fortunate to heal the victim in rituals and rites to exorcise the entity that had attached itself to the girl. After a few days of intense manhunt, speculates of the haunting at the villa and mysteries surrounding the missing teenager. Finally, on 19 November, after about 3 days of traumatic events in the country, the mysterious disappearance of the teenager was finally solved. The teenager was found in the Fletcher Pearl village in Dato On City at the brow. Instead, his parents' knowledge. Again, a version says that he dared not to go home past his curfew, so instead had gone to his girlfriend's place to stay for a few days. All the mystery and the missing teenagers episode The house was attracted many attention, including two independent filmmakers, Daniel Martin and Rosalind Azrin, and it is no surprise that they chose Villa Nabila as the subject of the documentary. After the documentary was made, another film director, Shafiq, decided to use all the information gathered and made an experimental movie about Villa Nabila. The movie was shot on site for 2 weeks. Shafiq didn't experience any paranormal incidents on location, but he mentioned that some of his cast member crew had reported strange things happening to them. There were also quite a few car accidents that had been reported to occur close to where the house is, but there are no true evidence linking them to the house. So, is Villa Nabila really hiding a dark secret waiting to be uncovered? Could it be the spirit of Nabila, who was rumored to have been cemented into the wall of the Nabila, be preventing the demolition of the Nabila? Are there still spirits of the rumored deceased still roaming the land of the villa, unrested or waiting for revenge? More and more questions and mysteries continues to surround the lone, empty villa on the hill. Would you be brave enough to venture into the night, explore the villa to uncover the truth?